Hello and welcome to day 6 of October Adventures in Tarot Casting. Today we are using the seasonal shifts spread. So this is what this looks like. This is the cards and this is the back. I got my prototype deck from Make Playing Cards. Once they've approved the design, I will share the link. And then you can get your own copy of these cards if you want. They're really cool. Okay, let's get to this reading. So again, I have my own notes written down on this side, and then I have my spread over here. For this particular one, I'm actually going to flip it because this is what it looks like right now, kind of up in this area, in our part of the woods, because fall is in full swing and we are losing the leaves, and the leaves are as we get ready to transition into winter. So this spread I created because one of my friends, my dear friend Erin Lento, we've collabed on a few things. She had mentioned that it would be really neat to have some simpler spreads for people who maybe don't want like the kitchen sink casting, right? So she's like, so maybe some 2 or 3 card. And then I was like, oh, well, what about a seasonal one? So then I came up with this, and I said, well, there's 4 seasons. Let's do a 4-season spread. And then I wanted something that was kind of like a tree. So this could even double as you can take this under advisement and say, okay, this kind of reminds me of the Tree of Life. And you could do a whole spread around that. Now there's 4 placements in the background. You can see the white lines. For regular size cards, you can use whatever cards you want. I have them placed over the seasons. However, there's not one here, but if you wanted to do a 5 to represent like you in the middle, you could do that. For this particular demo, I'm going to just do a card for each season. It's almost like a check, like not a year ahead, but it could be, if, say, instead of doing 12 months, you just want to see what the seasons are going to look like. You could use a single deck and do cards. But since I'm also trying to go through some of the decks that I've had forever, I'm going to actually pull a card for each season from a different deck. So for the fall, we've got the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. So let me just pull this out. And this is by Lorraine Anderson and Juliette Diaz, illustrated by Giada Rose. And so we've got the fall deck there. And for winter, this is the Creative Creations Oracle. I don't even know if they still have this, but I just felt like the artwork was it feels very wintry, even though I know it has cards in it that are for all the seasons. So, but we're going to use that for winter. For spring, I have the Small Spirits Oracle deck by Dr. Michael Anthony, illustrated by Hannah Shaler. And this one is going to be for spring because that's when all the bugs start coming back, and this is a very buggy deck. And then we're going to put that down here because spring. And then for summer, the Prairie Majesty Oracle by Kara Simons and Amy Pitney Koenig. This is a great deck that just has very like summery feel to me. So we're going to throw that one in there. All right. And so again, we got the seasonal shifts, and what it says, it can be helped to gain insights into the upcoming season or as a mid-season checkpoint. There's no right or wrong way to use these placements. Feel free to allow your intuition to guide you. So for the fall, could be what we're harvesting. Maturity, change, commonly associated with West and the elements of Earth. Again, depending on your practice, the elements might be different. But we're just going to go for fall and see what, we're harvesting, and see what we need to know about the fall season. And again, since it's a demo, it doesn't have to be such a in-depth spread, although these videos I've been doing seem to be just really on point, which not almost, but it shows me that the cards are going to tell you what you need to hear, regardless if it's example or, you know, an actual reading. So let's see. I'm just going to put it like this. So for the fall, I'm not even going to flip them yet. And then for the winter, we have, this is what's like the rest and stillness going within. So this card's going to tell us how to do that. Braxton tiptoeing in the background. Okay, so we got winter. And you'll notice that since the card placements, they're like a standard tarot size, but they still fit on here nicely. That's what I like about the 9x12. That's the size that we ended up going with these stickers, was because it's a very portable size book. It's just, the portability to me was very important. And also you can still get 4 or 5 cards on it. If you get pocket cards, you could get like 6 or 7. So I was able to continue to make these spreads and have them be like, you know, functional still. Like the whole idea is I wanted them to still be functional. So now we have spring, excuse me, and we have the small spirits of spring as they return from their winter nest. I personally really love fall and winter because the bugs go away for the most part. Living in the woods, the bugs are a major thing. Especially the gnats. They just attack my face. Okay, so there's the spring, and then we have summer. Okay. And this is like a good spread for when you don't have a lot of time, but you want to use your stickers, or you want to just carve out some space for a very intentional reading. So we have fall. Again, this is maturity and change. This is what we can expect this fall season. And we have transformation. And that really rings home. It says, like 1,000 storms held in hands, soft against the winds, there's change arising from deep within. And fall is such a great time to embrace that transformation, since the days are shorter, the feel to cozy up and just kind of go within really makes sense. And so then in the winter, we are greeted with rest and stillness coming off of that going within, right? And so we have fire. And that could be, I see that right now, and I see that in the winter. I see that as candles. I see that as celebrating the seasons with, maybe there's some rituals that you want to do during the winter. Rest and stillness doesn't really go with fire, but it could be the relighting of the pilot light that maybe has gone out this winter. And so it's just really helping examine the fire that needs to be stoked, like the fire in your hearth, right? So spring, the small spirits, we have renewal, beginnings, hope, and we have the centipede. And the centipede is talking about having like all those, whenever I see them, I just think of all the legs. I think of all the sections. There's so much going on, so much coming together in order to make this little guy maneuver. Let's see what the keywords are for this one. It says fast progress, many steps, equal distribution. Their legs flow with delicate precision with up to 117 pairs of legs. A lot of steps to keep track of from start to finish. So when centipede strolls across your path, it's time to hunker down and use every second of your time wisely. Whatever situation you're in, know that things are going to move fast. And that really feels like some spring energy, right? So it's like the first bud that pops up, and then all of a sudden the trees are pink. And then we have summer, which is about passions and activity and growth, right? And so then we have the warble, and am I singing my songs? And let's see what Amy and Kara have to say about that. me see. I have to get to the right section because the cards are the way they're color coded. I don't know much about a warble, I'm sure. Why am I not seeing it? Well, this is silly. This is silly, I can't find it. Oh, here we go, because it's not called warble in this. It's called something else. It's Dixisol. Did I say that right? All the grasslands are the stage, audience optional. As he sings his own name, his head bops, rising as though he has a jack in his throat. What is the melody yearning to come through to you? So for the summer, this Dixisol encourages you to create for yourself first and foremost. And so in the summer, talking about growth, it's creative growth, right? But when we create something for ourselves, something that we love, and share it with the world, it usually catches on, because if we love it, then everybody else should love it, right? So that's kind of how I would use this particular spread. It's pretty simple. This video is a little shorter than my other ones because there's only 4 placements and it's pretty self-explanatory. How would you approach this? Would you go through each season and maybe do like, what am I looking for this fall and how is that going to affect these? You know, there's so many things. You could journal with it. Again, record your readings so that you can go back and listen to them. And let's get to what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm going to use the new deck, see how that shuffles. A lot easier than my laminated cards. And since the backs are pretty similar, it gives it more of anonymity when you're shuffling, but it's just something that has to be overlooked if we're using it as a spread deck and an oracle. Okay. So tomorrow we have In the Dreaming. And so we're gonna explore dreams together. Thank you as always. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video and tell your tarot and oracle loving friends. And I love to know if you're using them. I love to know how the spreads and the boards and how it's making you excited about your tarot practice. So again, thank you for being here and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.